So that's the back of a 65-inch OLED B8. I've got a wall bracket down there. It's nothing special, just a standard flat bracket, fairly low profile. But on the back of the LG, you can see it's got 200mm by 300mm VESA mounting. And the only disadvantage with these TVs is it's quite thick. The screen itself is dead thin, but you've got that portion at the bottom with all the guts in it. So it's going to stand off the wall by the thickness of the bottom of the TV, plus the bracket itself. So let me just get it set up to there. So I'll mount the bracket first. So two arms. They're going to attach to the back. I'll try and get them as high up as I can, so any leverage is pulling away higher up, but I guess all the weight on it is here and down at the lower portion of the television. It looks like we've got M6 mountings on there. That's our M6 there. But jeez. It has got deep mounting. I'm quite cautious because I wouldn't want to screw forever. If the screw's too long, get a short screw, but it should be acceptable. I'll probably space it off that arm with some washers. I'll just get my trusty screwdriver. So idea is that's the lowest hole that can go on there. So I'm going to go for, but I've got to match up that bottom hole as well. So annoyingly, it's going to be that hole. My idea is any slack on that hole, I usually pull that arm up. Oh. So you've got that play there, pull it up, and then the gravity can't make the TV go any further down, it will stay level. I can just see that's the other hole there. So I'll probably fast forward this bit while I whip all these screws in. So this plate here is what we're going to mount to the wall. So probably just 4 fixings in there on the corners, which is more than enough. And then the TV will hook onto there, like so. And you've got a bit of slide either way then once the TV is on the wall. So the next thing is we'll get the height of where the TV is going to go. We're going to mount that plate onto the wall. Right, so that's the chimney breast it's going on when it focuses. And the idea is it's going to come down from the coving 71 centimetres to the top of the TV. And it's not what I've specified, it's what the customer has asked for, so we can do that. Idea is this chimney breast is hollow, so hopefully I'm going to bring the cables through that wall out of this side access panel down there, and hopefully put his devices into the bottom shelf of this bookcase here. And it gets rid of the glass stand that was originally there, frees up a lot of space in the room. So what I need now is a dimension from that back plate. If I get a dimension from the back plate, it's on there, and it's going to go to the top of the television, so about there. It's about 452mm from the top of the TV to the top of that plate. So I can mark on the wall, that's 71 centimetres down from the coving, so I know that's all good. 1600mm wide is the chimney breast, so 800mm is going to be my centre. And we said top of the bracket from the top of the TV is about 452. So if I just come down, that's 452mm or approximately 45 centimetres. So I'll just mark that there. That's going to be the top of my bracket. So the top of the bracket is there, top of the TV will end up there. So the TV height's going to be quite nice. I think it should be about eye level as you sat down. I'd stand up. Ooh. So I'm about 5'7", so that's top of my TV. So that's my dust sheet down. So top of my bracket, centre of the bracket, spirit level on the top. I'm going to level that there. Just mark my 4 holes for drilling. Trying to keep the bracket still. No, I don't know if that shows up, but 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to drill M6 holes by about 100mm deep into that brick there. That's a solid brick wall. And then I'm going to put some concrete screws in, so no plugs required, tap straight into the brick. 6mm bit there by 100mm. I think the total length of the drill is about 160, so I'll just get my screws and I'll mark a depth on them. So I've got 4 of these 100mm screws here, 6mm inner, and it's about an 8mm pitch, 8mm outer thread diameter. So 6mm pilot hole, and that'll screw straight into the brick. There we go. So it's got a star-headed driver for those bolts to drive them in. I'm going to use my screw gun to drive them into the wall. So I suppose one important thing is don't have too much torque on the drill. Like I say, torque limit set to 11 on the drill there, so we don't ruin the thread. Got my 4 screws in with washers on. So I'm just going to gently wind. So one's pretty tight. I'm just going to get the level there. So if I nip one up there, that should be about bang on. And now I can nip the rest up. Right, so let's have a look. So I've wound in my concrete screws, my 100mm concrete screws, straight into that block work there. It's actually breeze block I discovered. So next thing is TV is going to hook onto there, so it hooks on, and the bottom there's some screws that will screw down just to keep it secure. So next thing I've got to do, take that TV off its base, and I'm going to hook it onto there. So some clips there on a previous video. I think I unboxed this one and put it on this cover, so now I've got to figure out how to get it off. It says there's 1, 2, so 4 screws in there. Get those out. That's all 4 screws off, so now all I've got to do is lift it. Let's have a look. So that's it mounted on the wall. So obviously that's great, but that's only a bit of the job. Quite nice and low, so he's picked a good height for that. But I've got to get the wires into the wall. Also, I'm going to mount the soundbar underneath. It's got to have a small gap for those upwards firing speakers, but looking at it, hopefully they come forwards of the TV itself. So next bit's to get it on, but let's just have a quick look at the side. Which is a tricky one. You can just see the side there towards the left of the screen. So that's my finger, for example. So it does come a fair bit off the wall. There's nothing you can do because it's the back of the TV, and then you've got the bracket itself. The screen there is nice and thin, but I guess you don't actually benefit from that once it's on the wall. So that's the bottom of the soundbar, and that bracket, that's one of the wall mount brackets there. So that bit there is attaching to the wall, this bit to the bar, so it's countersunk there. And you can see that protrude, so that locates into there. Just the retaining screw, so we've got 2 of those. And I'm going to attach it to a wall underneath the TV. So that's my wall bracket template, and it advises 100mm space between the TV bottom and the top of the soundbar. So looks wise it'd probably be better if not, because I've got 2 wires to go to it, but maybe I'll knock through into that chimney breast and hide the wires. So I can look, if I look at the chimney breast itself, so that's the TV there, the bottom of it. So I'm going to knock through underneath and hide those wires, then bring them back through to the television. This bit here is supposed to, I suppose that could be, is that representing where I'm actually mounting my brackets to? We'll try it out and see what happens. Cool. The TV is almost centre where it is, but the TV will slide left and right. The soundbar will not. Once it's mounted, it's mounted. So imagine me mounting all this. This is going to be the easy bit. The hard bit is going to be actually cabling it up. Slightly off, isn't it? Let's just get it. So you can just see that's intended to be my bracket. So I'm going to trust it. I'm going to drill 2 holes there, attach my brackets and hope my soundbar sits on. So the top of the soundbar should end up here. It's got the 100mm gap that it specifies. I'm just going to mark those both here. Come out of the way. I've got my 4 holes marked. I've trusted the template, I hope I'm right, because I've trusted the template to be level, gauging on that line being in line with the TV. So we'll soon see when I put the bar on. If not, it's got a bit of adjustment there. So let's get some fixings. So I've got red mill. So I've got red 6mm screws and plugs there, and I've got brown 7mm screws and plugs. So what I'm going to probably do, I've drilled 6mm holes. I'm going to force an oversized 7mm plug into those holes so it's tight, and then use the 6mm screw. So it should be nice and secure. So brown 7mm plugs. Will they fit? Maybe with a hammer they will. If not, I'll go back to the 6mm, but I thought if it makes it a bit more secure, it's worth a go. I'm just going to try and get it square on with the hammer. And that went in nicely. Two times LG soundbar wall brackets and some screws. It's that way up. So that's the location there. So they're nice and securely on there, dead tight, and the soundbar is going to sit on those and locate there. So there's countersinks on the soundbar that will locate into there. One side looks a bit up, so I'm going to level that in a mo. Oh, actually, I'd say that's pretty much bang on. Let's have a look. Let's stand back. So when that's all working, that's going to look pretty cool. So I think I've done the easy bits here. I've actually mounted the devices. Reason being, I can do a pencil outline, see where the devices are. And I've got to bore some big, probably 25mm holes so I can get HDMIs through into that chimney breast and out that side panel there, like I say, and into that bookshelf down below, down at the bottom there, to get the devices in. So when that's all working, that should be pretty cool. That's it. So again, from the side, that's cool. From the seating position, this is gonna, from that seating position, this is gonna look bang on, I think. Another thing I just forgot to mention is we've actually got two retaining screws that are going to go into each of these brackets under here, just so it can't be knocked off by accident. But I've got some drilling to do, so that's going to happen last thing. So that's both devices off. I've took them off because I'm going to get some holes, one round here somewhere near that slimmer portion of the TV where it's recessed more, so I can get the wires through into the chimney breast there. And I've marked out top and bottom of the soundbar there, so I know somewhere behind here, I think that's plasterboard there or ply. So I'm going to pop a decent size hole through there as well. And I can pop my wires from my soundbar back to the TV, also feed all my devices to the TV through this side panel. So next thing, I've got to cut the paint around that side panel and then unscrew it, so a bit of paint picking to do. So far I've got a 25mm hole there, that's in plyboard. You see the old fireplace has been ply lined, well boarded effectively. I've got a 10mm pilot hole there. I've just fed some coax through just to see if I can get it from the side. I can. I haven't managed. There's a wall behind here that comes up to there, goes across and down, so I've got to get some wire up over that wall, back down, so I can draw my cables between the two and also draw them that way. But I'm hoping once I've got a big hole there, I can drop some wire down from there, retrieve it from there with a bit of coat hanger. To be technical, I have actually got one of those inspection tools with a camera on it that I can see on my phone, but I've left it at home, so bugger. So that's a whopping 25mm hole through there. And that is near the top of the television, but it's what it requires to get my cable. So there's the dust sheet. So 25mm hole there. Should be able to drop it down, fingers crossed. This is either 10 minutes or 10 hours to get the wires between, but we shall soon see. Plumb bob would be ideal for this. Just open Shirley by feeding a shed of cable in. We'll have a look. The problem is, let's just come to the side here. So that's actually unused at the moment. That's an old heating pump. The problem is this wall's in the way, so I've got to get up over that wall with my wires and through, and that's where I'm struggling, but we'll get through one way or another. Even if that pipe now, I know it's not connected, I can see the bare end of it through that hole, so I may be able to pull that out. I feed my cable through that way, but I'm going to figure something cool out. Right, so I've actually bored a hole in there. That's my torch in a 25mm hole. So I've bored a hole all the way through there with my big SDS bit. Wherever it is, where are we? Down there. And I can just see, I don't know if this will show up. Bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and it doesn't show up, but if I look in, I can just see the light from there shining through. So hopefully I can poke a cable through that side there where my drill is and drag it through to here, and then for the HDMI to the TV I'm going to loop it around here, up behind it, back through, out of here, down to the TV. Then I've got an Xbox that's going down in that corner with an HDMI that's going to go up into the cavity, through, out to the TV. So eventually job will be a good one. Yes. So I can actually see my cable there, and if I'm careful, that's my wire. So I poke that through here. That's one end, that's the other. So I've got a draw through to the side. Now I've got to get one from the top to there. But I suppose first things first, a 3 metre HDMI, fingers crossed, should easily do it. I've got to leave a drawstring in here as well because the mains on the soundbar is actually attached, so I'm going to have to cut the plug off. I don't know how that works with a warranty, but there's no other way. So that's my cord there, and that HDMI's come quite through quite easily. So that's my draw cord there. That's my draw cord out to the side from the top. Cool. TV end through the wall. Whew. So I'm going to detach it from its draw, going through there. And hopefully I'll drag it back out of there to the television itself. tape that onto my drawer cord nice and flat. So I'm going to pull this one back. They are a bit stubborn to get round. I don't know if I can assist that HDMI up there. I can see it. There we go. Is it going to be long enough? I really hope so. Let me just pull some excess. There we go. So right, I'm just going to detach that there. That is one HDMI, so that end of the HDMI. There was a cat somewhere. That end of the HDMI is to the TV. I forget which side it is, but we'll find out again soon. That's going to be my audio return channel. That's going to go to my soundbar there. So next, the 5 meter HDMI. That's going to be for the Xbox. So I'm going to take that to my drawer cord. I've got all my drawer cord excess this way, so I'll be able to pull it into that cavity. Just assist that going in there. I'll be able to pull my drawer cord back again. So that's the other end of my 5 meter HDMI. This one's going to feed the Xbox as I keep repeating. So that's going to have to come out of that access hatch. It's going to go down here in the corner in its own little space. So just make sure we've got plenty of that. We've got plenty of excess. I'd rather have the lead too long than too short. Cool. Yeah, the awkward thing is with those LGs having fixed plugs, I suppose I may actually put, you've got that much space behind the top of the TV there. I mean, the screen's dead thin, but there's a massive void behind it. So I think I'm going to put a single gang mains foot there just to feed the TV itself. Unfortunately for the soundbar, I'm going to have to cut the plug off and pull the cable all the way through and out here to plug it in. So, I've got a single gang mains extension there. Like I say, void behind the TV screen itself is big enough to get that there. There's no heat comes from it, so there's no issue there. Draw that all the way through and plug it in down there somewhere. So I'm just going to take the plug off. I'd rather do this because the TV's got a 5-year warranty, and if I cut the plug off the TV, then it goes faulty. I don't know if it voids the warranty. Splinter for me. So I've got my coax drawer cord, 2 HDMI, so TV end I'm good to go. I've got to mount my soundbar, cut the plug off, pull the mains cable back through and out there to be plugged in down there. So once that's on and the plug's on, the only way you're going to get it back off again is by taking the plug back off. But it's on. Let's check both sides before I move my hands away. Cool. That is on. Last thing to do, I will secure the 2 screws underneath here just to be sure it's not going to drop and smash. That's my mains plug. I'm going to plug it in now so it's out of the way. Find my socket somewhere. So that's the 1 gang extension into the socket. I'll just get a close up of that. So that is the 1 gang extension into the socket. And you can see from the top of it there, that actually fits right behind. So that's fine. I've just got to get my HDMIs in. And then, can't really get into the back, but I've connected both HDMIs. So we've got HDMI 1 being the Xbox, 2 is going to be the ARC. That's HDMI 2 which is connected to the TV, so that is going to be the soundbar in a moment. Now, I've got the mounds going through the wall. That's going to have a plug put on it in a moment. But we can just see upside down. That's the TV ARC there. So my HDMI from the TV, that's HDMI 2 on the television itself. So that's going to be the link for the audio and the control. So TV's back on, soundbar's back on. Can't see any wires, that is all wired up. Bit dusty, nevertheless, I'll get that tidied up. TV now wants a clean because it's got my greasy hand marks all over. Ideally, I would have done this all before the screen protector was pulled off, but we wanted to get it in and working first. So we've had it in and working. Now we're going to have it in and working on the wall with the soundbar. Right, so that's the TV all done and dusted, so we'll turn it on. I've just gone to normal TV.
And the composition of Chestnut is almost identical. It's very similar to the upgrades in terms of camera value.
So that's controlling the bar with the TV remote. You can see that there. That is pretty cool. You can see I've got the Xbox down there. I don't like that main. Cool. I've got the subwoofer behind me.
Supermarkets reliant on transportation, and the industrial scale farms that supply them are unlikely to survive.